much time? 30? 30 seconds? I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Run.
What?
Yes, as long as the fringe stop now. You should be able to hear me. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Brews at 10 on my left eye. This is the local elections 2026 special, also featuring the Senedd and Holyrood elections, of course. Solidari-Tea, good people. Welcome. Plants McGee, nice to see thee. And indeed, you were first in the chat. Very good evening. Yes, this is part 2. Seeing as only a few results came in by the time I finished the stream yesterday, thought we could go over some of the results. It's been a mixed bag. We'll see how the hot seats did as well. Plus a few other notable outcomes and a further analysis about what this might mean for the future of British politics overall, concerning so-called legacy establishment parties, newer parties, or that is older parties but with fresh approaches and a new leader, of course, in one case. Good night for the Greens, unfortunately. Also, a good night for Reform, who got the biggest chunk of the vote. But we'll stay with the positives, of course. If you want to let me know, excuse me, how things went down where you're from, do let me know in chat or in the comments. If you're watching back later, please make sure you hit thumbs up on this stream. Show some support for this humble YouTube channel. Quite a night it was, though. A record-breaking night, a disaster of a night for Labour. Keir Starmer. That's undeniable. So we'll also be taking a look at just how bad it was for Keith, his merry neoliberal band. Plus, bringing up the question yet again as to whether this will be the final death blow for him. Perhaps the Reacher. The Reacher? The what? Perhaps the Reaper approacheth as we speak. Oh, what do you say, Dev?
Damn right!
Yeah. more to come. You'll just have to bear with me a moment. Trying to get the members vid up, but I do have some scrolling. I might have just a moment. Wasn't just a bad night for Keith, was it?
Oh God.
It's a bad night tonight for Tech. Just let me see. Big Jerry in second. He might experience a small amount of buffering during this minor adjustment. Yeah. It's all good now. I might have slightly overloaded the broadcast software as well. Got a lot of results, so a lot going on. This is the latest members roster though. Unfortunately, I bring bad news. We've gone back down to two figures, 98. Now, we were previously over the target of 250. I know times are hard, and yes, I was away for a week and stuff, but if you've previously been a member on the channel, just check whether it says join or not, and please do consider renewing your membership. Thanks to those that have though. Excuse me, I need a drink, I need a brew. 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I left my brew somewhere else. Bit of a schoolboy error considering the theme of the stream. So thank you very much to those of you who support the channel by whatever means that is, or may be. Super Chat is open if you're watching live, and Super Stickers. If you're catching up later, you might want to consider using Super Thanks or the Buy Me a Coffee page. Check out any content description for the link if you're unable to help support us via YouTube. We'd also really appreciate, in fact, I don't have the link, but if you go to our videos section, open our most recent video, hit the thumbs up button on a mobile device, tablet, phone, that kind of thing. It should give you the option to give some hype points. It's completely free. Yeah, won't cost you anything. So please do consider that. Again, that's on a mobile device. It depends on which region you're watching in. But the latest release from our time with Take Back Power in London could do with a bit of a boost, could do with a bit of a hype. So please do get behind it, people. Solidarity.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
A comedy clip is forthcoming. And of course, it's not all over. There are still some results yet to come in, so At one point, we will be going over live just to see if any late counts come in whilst we're on stream. At the moment, though, the Green Party have won over 340 new seats, council seats that is, in England. Well done Wales and well done Scotland as well, who did a much better job at keeping reform at bay than Keir Starmer did. So much for only Labour can stop reform. Hey Keith. Right. It's a bit quiet in the chat this evening, isn't it? I don't often do Friday night streams, and this might clash with some other YouTubers. That's all fine if you're catching up later. Whenever and wherever you watch the stream, please do hit thumbs up though. We also have a poll, which it's taken me over 10 minutes of streaming to make mention of. Yeah, just a bit of fun. Obviously, over 1,000 brand new reform councillors were elected today, and simply by reputation, or previous reputation that is. How long do you think it'll be before this new bunch, one of them or more, gets suspended for some despicable act or another? Will it be days, weeks, months or years? Currently 86% of you think it'll be just a matter of days before it's in the headlines. JK and Andy Carter, welcome to the stream. Won't be holding my breath over that one. Certainly not. But whether enough of them, that is MPs, will get together. There have already been some that have come out today. We're going to take a look at one or two examples of that later on. But if they get enough to raise the vote of no confidence, he might not have a say in it himself, you know. 172, I believe it is, required to trigger the VONC. But we'll have to wait and see. A very good evening, Andy, as well. You'd have gone for minutes if the option was available. Yeah. It'd go something like this, you know. So this is your office, the canteen's that way, and you're sacked. We've been through your hard drive, or just found out about some deplorable drunken behaviour in a bar. Not that none of us have ever, you know, haven't ever embarrassed ourselves in a bar before, but lots of such abhorrent lengths. Always the same faces, isn't it, with the recycled Tories? Ernest Mosley dropping into the chat as well. No future in England's dreaming. Sex Pistols lyrics, is it? For 5 points. And yeah, Free Scotland. That will be going into, not literally of course, in terms of studying the results of, but we'll be going into Scotland and Wales through the stream. We'll dive into the comedy clip first though. This is very fresh, came out just moments before we came to you on stream, but through magnificent production values we're able to bring it to you at a moment's notice. So therefore, I haven't actually seen this one myself, but familiar with the channel, which is now a collaboration, I believe. It's Nicole Jennis but also now in collaboration with Now TV, which NOOW. No TV. Just want one of them to say it in the video so that I know how you're supposed to pronounce it. There is a link in the description of this stream if you want to go and subscribe. That's the wrong one. I recommend that you do. So yeah, check it out. Nicole Jenners.
Hello, humanity.
Wait, just a moment. We've got some shenanigans here, people. Yeah, got very heavily loaded broadcast software. Might just be a moment of buffering. Yeah, we're good now. Hey, technology.
Hello, humanity enthusiasts. Tonight, the contestants are going to compete for once in a lifetime prize. The ability to criticize war crimes without losing their jobs, bank accounts, and freedom. Whatever that means. Let's meet our first contestant. Hello, my name is Camille, and I've studied international law. Brave thing to admit publicly. Security, keep an eye on this one. Round one. Who? It's the terrorist. Who is the terrorist, Camille? Easy, the armed soldier standing on the ruins of civilian homes. Wrong! It's the old one with arthritis. That dangerous extremist was carrying a sign. On the other side, the other gentleman was participating in a vibrant cultural exchange, including airstrikes. But round two. Spot the extremist. Surely not the child. Incorrect! The child crossed the yellow line while existing suspiciously. The missile, however, was acting in self-defense against the child. Round three. Freedom of speech roulette. Who gets arrested?
Oh, that's a tough
The
one.
TV person. Incorrect. The student! Because nothing threatens our Western civilization than a student with opinions. And Wi-Fi. No, are you kidding? Security. Round four. Guess the security threat. The politician. No. It's the doctor! What? He showed evidence of crimes, and that's a very destabilizing behavior. Round five. The human shields. Quick, Camille. What those people?
It's buffering again. It's frozen and buffering. 1 sec. Sorry, people. This will be resolved.
People have in common. They are all civilians. No. According to Twitter, experts with animated profile pictures, those are human shields. Camille, I really want you to win. Just stop feeling. Feisty! Now, Camille, tell me, what happens with over 100 British nationals who served in a foreign army accused of atrocities?
Oh, I know this one. I know this one.
They get investigated. Isn't
Sadly
she
not.
adorable? No, Camille, that's too much paperwork. We prefer to arrest people holding signs, much safer and less awkward in diplomatic dinners. Last round. Who gets called anti-Semitic?
Oh, this will be difficult. Let's see. The United States of America.
The person asking for the ceasefire. Congratulations, we have a winner! Camille, you just learned the rules of modern society. The episode Who is the Terrorist is sponsored by Democracy. Join us for the next episode, Which War Crime Needs More Context.
Nicole Jennis. Link in the description. Go subscribe. There's a link to that video as well if you want to check it out again. Yep, up is down. People who protest war crimes serve longer sentences than people who commit war crimes. So many great quotes, but we must be moving on because the results are hot, people. The results have been coming in, so we'll get straight into it, and what will be the last episode proper of Hot Seats until the next by-election or whatnot. So let's see what's happening. Catch you soon, Andy. Yeah, nice to see you, as always. Peasants Revolt is in the chats. Good evening, Vic. Isn't it always great to see Rick?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Where to begin? So many results. We've got English council seats, mayoral elections, we've got the SENEDD, we've got HOLYROOD. But I think we're going to kick off with our very own hot list and just see how accurate that was. If anybody doesn't know what a hot seat is, I've selected 6 or 7. We have a sort of semi-unofficial one, which I will be updating you on as well. But these are ones that not only I think / hope in the past tense now hoped that the Greens would win, but obviously not ones where they're tearing away with it, where Labour have ditched 25% and the Greens are projected to get more than 40% of the vote, where it is a 2 or a 3 horse race, pretty much just to make it interesting, just to make it spicy, just to keep it hot. Because we're well into spring now, during a climate crisis as well. Joe Gibbs, thanks for joining us on stream. Sorry to hear that your town fell under the spell of reform. You're certainly not alone. we can't hide from the fact that Reform won the most amount of seats. We also, here in the Northwest, can't deny that many towns dotted around Manchester and Greater Manchester also did the same. I'll be taking a slightly biased look at Manchester and the Northwest later in the stream, some of which is included in the hot seats, so let's just get on with it.
On with it.
He says in a moment. Yeah, sorry for the buffering again. The more I get through, the less overloaded the broadcast software will get. It's not just that as well. There's a few other factors. There's quite a lot of variables in all this process, you know. But, right. I can offload and delete as we go, so let's kick off.
On with it. Yes, get on with it. Get on with it.
With the list, this is the same as it was yesterday. I suppose changing the list after the results had come out would be, I don't know, something the Tories would do, or Labour now in fact. So yes, starting with City of Manchester, here in Manchester. Let's see what's happening. There was projected to be mostly, you could kind of consider it a three-way battle, but mostly a two-way battle. Pretty sure I've still got that up. Yep, there we go. So this was the projection, this isn't the result. Very tight, very close between Labour and the Green Party there, but you can see in terms of trends, in terms of swing, it's downward all the way for Labour. As has been the theme throughout all of the results, everywhere. And the Greens continuing to ascend. I mean, as far as I'm aware, Labour haven't made a single gain. They've held places, but they haven't gained somewhere that they didn't previously have. There might be one or two actually. Now I think about it, where they might have regained it from the Tories, who just about managed to cling on last time, but didn't. But I'm getting distracted from this particular matter, so that is how it was estimated to go down. And let's just take a look at the overall results. Only a third of the seats in Manchester were being contested, but it did actually turn out to be a really good result for the Greens. Very bad for Labour. Take a look at this. Previously, this would have been almost all red. Look at that. Look at the drop. Incredible. Also incredible, 37.3 vote share for the Greens. But there's no overall control, unfortunately. Still, excellent stuff from the Greens there. I'm going to take a look at some individual areas of Manchester as well. Like I said, starting off in a slightly biased fashion. Preach what you know, as they say, and it's only natural that when everybody got up this morning, the first thing they did was check if places where they live and around where they live have done right. Amongst these are some truly stunning results. So if you're familiar with Manchester, I've just picked out a couple of these because they really are quite incredible. Well done Greens, well done Manchester Greens. I know a lot of people who campaign for the Green Party in Manchester. Solidarity to everybody out there watching who's been out and campaigned as well. I know that that's not exclusive to Manchester either. Lots of other areas. Well done, every single one of you. But in Piccadilly, the efforts of campaigners and of course the continued ascendancy of the party in general under Zach Polanski has yielded almost a 51% vote share. 51% vote share, Piccadilly. This is in central Manchester, of course, where the train station is, of course, and a 25.5% drop for Labour. That's an absolute obliteration. That's absolute destruction. You almost run out of adjectives and superlatives at just how bad things are going for Labour at the moment. Minor gains for Lib Dem. Reform more or less being ignored. Getting just 5.2% on the first time out. Tories have a little bit shaved off as well, so well done Piccadilly. Well done Manchester. Come on. Yes town. Another one, Moss Side. You've got the result and the swing there just to illustrate this. So if you thought 51 was incredible, 56.5% people in Moss Side. 56.5% for the Green Party in Moss Side. That's from around 7%. So that's a 48.7% gain. That's not just the 48.7 is a vote share that every councillor would dream of, but it's the gain on 56.5. But look at this for Labour. Have you ever seen the like? 49.7% drop. A 49.7% drop in Moss Side. This is catastrophically bad for Labour. Talk about completely losing the working class vote. If you're not familiar with Moss Side, Levenshulme, that sort of area of Manchester, it's close to Main Road where Man City's old ground was. There are a large number of existing and former council properties as well. It's very working class, close to Rusholme, which of course is known for its diversity. That's also seen a large swing towards the Greens as well, but we've also seen similar things in Burnage as well. In fact, yeah, just almost all across Manchester. Huge gains. That's what I'm proudest of. That's what I feel the best of about following these local elections, because to come back and see who you voted for doing very well as a socialist, let's say, isn't exactly a regular occurrence these days. The last time that happened, I guess you could say, collectively for socialists, was in 2017. Kind of got a bit of the told you so rights off the back of the last council election, of course, where fewer seats were being considered, but this is just completely off the scale compared to that. So yeah, that's nice. That's nice for a change. So well done to everybody who went out and campaigned yet again. That was Moss Side and Piccadilly there. Just one final look at the overall picture there. Are you sweating, Mr. Burnham? Are you sweating? Are they coming for you? Green Party. Well, Labour wouldn't let you stand in Gorton and Denton. There's no way out. well, that would be another story, of course, because Andy Burnham, despite Labour's catastrophic results recently and what's happened with Mandelson, etc., has remained quite popular here. Has to be said, he has somewhat differing opinions from Starmer on a range of issues. You can't, of course, forget the fact that he voted for the country to illegally invade Iraq. On the flip side, of course, you've got the transport thing, which is a positive. I'm not getting sidetracked in Andy Burnham land. We've got lots of results to get through. So it's not a bad picture overall. Next on was the list. Let's get the list back up. Oh, forgot to do the celebration, of course, for the Greens.
Jurassic Park.
Thank you, Alan. Up next, Birmingham. Well, yeah, this one just came in recently. Let's see how that one's done. That was actually the hottest seat. Did have to concede, as much as I was biased towards Manchester there. This was the projection, which looked on for a three-way, three-horse race. With just 2% between the top three candidates and apparent tie between Labour and Reform. Let's see how things actually turned out, though. Where are we? I'll have to go onto the news page and look up one or two of them that weren't announced when I last checked. I do have Birmingham, or I should have Birmingham. Bill, who loaded the? It's all over the place. Yeah, I'm just going to throw it in again. Okay, hold on to your butts, people. This is the actual results. Wow. Sorry to shout that at you there. We just had to load it in again. In the end, unfortunately, the Greens not quite making the impact that was hoped, but there's no overall majority. Reform have gained 17, Labour have lost 33 councillors. This is councillors, not actual percentage. Tories down 1, no change at all for Lib Dem. Greens up 9, but didn't really get into the three-horse race. They're all, that is, the top three, somewhat short of a majority, which would be 51. That's what's required. So we're seeing a lot of places where there's no overall control. We're seeing a lot of parties with completely polarised opinions on a range of issues, somehow expected to work together and get through this. We've seen what Reform have done in other councils. They're just not up for that. They probably think cooperation is woke or concession is woke. Doesn't show strength, doesn't show flags, the strong lions, strong lions made of flags. Oh god, now I say flags, now I think about it. I hope that's not going to encourage a whole new wave of this raise the colours crap. No. Wouldn't be keen on that at all. Anyone from Birmingham in chat? Let me know what you think about this. Yeah. Surprised. It's one of those rare occasions where the Greens have actually underachieved compared to how they were predicted to do in a poll or a projection. Their success is normally underestimated before the fact. That is, classic example being Gorton and Denton. Oh, it's really tight, and then boom. Yeah, massive majority in Gorton and Denton. Not the case in Birmingham though. As a case, as an individual case, the area itself, of course, has a myriad of economic, fiscal problems. It is still declared bankrupt. It was declared bankrupt, what, about 18 months ago? Something like that. They've had the bin strikes, of course, the bin workers on strike. Rats the size of cats, and that is, of course, heavily mutated cats who have somehow found a way to mate with beavers, who've found a way to mate with, like, horses and produce the most vile abomination you could. Sorry, I'm getting carried away. The rats were particularly large, though, I'm assured. So that's the way it is in Birmingham. No clear sign of any political direction, except to say, unfortunately, the top three parties there are all of varying levels of right-wing Tory shite. Be it original, recycled, or imitation. That is it, yeah. You've got the original Tories, Conservative Party, recycled Tories with Reform, and the imitation Tories with Labour. You have to count Lib Dem in that. Tory light. Which I, of course, do have to concede as a negative. Got it right about Manchester, not about Birmingham though, so no clean sweep. That rules out a clean sweep on hot seats after just 2 results. We've never had a clean sweep before, not that we've done loads. What was the first one? Was it for a by-election or the local elections or general? I can't remember when yeah, first started to make these kind of predictions. If you do, any channel nerds, there's no shaming saying that you remember. Right, that's Birmingham done with. Right, let's move on to the next one. What did we have? The list. Newcastle, of course. Yes, the Greens were predicted to do quite well in Newcastle. Do I have that result? Was that? I'm pretty sure that was council, not mayoral. It's easy to get mixed up. I do have it there. Did I load it? Someone load it. Oh, first of all, the projection, of course, which I do have. So that was for council, as it said there. What do we have? What do we have? It's absent. But here it is. Let's upload this one as well. The one on the left was from the last time out in the 22/3/4 council elections. Where all the red go? Where did all the red go? So it's no overall control, actually. I might... just 1 second, you're not going to see this. I'm going to get up the... actual results. But, I mean, Newcastle upon Tyne, of course. Oh, wait a second. Wait a bloody minute. Fucking hell. I'll just double check that to make sure that the projection was Newcastle upon Tyne and not Newcastle under Lyme, which are two completely different places, by the way. It's not just like doing the road. It's yeah, miles and miles away. Where is it? Right. It just says Newcastle. That's no help at all. That's no help at all. Again, probably maybe showing some slight bias, but when I hear Newcastle, I think Newcastle upon Tyne. I don't know about you. So, for citational purposes, this projection might actually be for Newcastle under Lyne, because when you take a look at the projection compared to the actual result, Newcastle upon Tyne, although large areas have gone green, there's also unfortunately a lot of turquoise teal there, so I'm just going to punch up the actual result here on the results checker finder thing, doofer apparatus. And through a series of satellites and terrestrial antennas, we'll be able to bring up the result within moments. But just where, again, what you can see on your screens is concerned, it looks as though Lib Dem used to have a sort of shared control of that area. Sorry, I don't know the boroughs. I'm not talking about Middlesbrough, of course. It's Newcastle. But the top borough or ward that you can see there has gone from a shared control to more or less an overall control for Lib Dem, and in those other areas they seem to have held most of them. Prior to that, of course, you can see where many red areas have turned green, and I can say that over and over again without getting bored, I assure you. So I'm just checking the actual percentages on another device. So many results. Sorry, I've not had time to get more of a comprehensive visual representation of each seat, which I would like to have done. So I'm going to look up both Newcastles just to reassure myself. Yeah, so it was the Borough Council of Newcastle under Lyme, and both Newcastle upon Tyne City Council as well. Let's go with the tune first and see if that marries up with what you can see on your screen. It does. It's no party majority, it says. So this result that you can see on your screen on the right will be for Newcastle upon Tyne. So what's the deal with t'other one? Oh, that's certainly yeah, so it appears that the projection was for this seat. It just didn't quite have the Greens running away with it as much was originally thought, because according to this, Newcastle under Lyme have gained from the Tories, which bears no sort of resemblance, if I'll just bring it back up again, bears no resemblance to this projection whatsoever, because they've got only 19% there, and the Tories were up with 17, so they certainly didn't have it before. Right, so yeah, that matches with that. Don't have a map projection for Newcastle under Lyme. Don't want to see one either, because we're gonna, it's not burying our heads in the sand, but we're just gonna stick with the more positive results. So I guess well done, that's another kick in the bollocks from Keith, courtesy of the Green Party. Well done. Up in the northeast, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, their thems and comrades alike. I believe that Sunderland went to reform as well, the measure, because you can never mention one on one of these streams without the other coming up. So unfortunately, we're 1 for 3 at the moment. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, we do better than this. Newham. Right, Newham. Come on, Newham. Do we have a result? This was the projection. Yeah, it was very close between Labour and the Greens, as you recall. That's based on a polling average from MRP, or it was. Let's see how it turned out. Sure that we had that. Or not. So, I'll double check. Not just left it on the desktop and forgot to upload it. No, that is one that I'm just going to have to check on. Interesting trivia, all of the ones that I've had to look for so far start with new. So Borough Council and mayoral elections. In fact, I'm going to bring this one up on the screen. I'm going to screen share. I'm going to slightly risk overloading / bufferage, but it's only a page. It's not a video. It should be okay. It's just been leaning on the overload side. I'd rather be able to show you maps and things than just saying a series of numbers. While this is a faceless channel, I do still like to try and keep it visually entertaining somewhat. You know what I mean?
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
And almost right on cue. It is buffering. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now, but I'll continue to do the bit. Nevertheless. It's not actually been like that for a while. These problems just crop up now and then. No, I don't want that screen. I want that one. Be okay without the audio. That is, say, shouldn't crash too much. Gone and jinxed it now though. Right, what we're doing, Newham. That's the Borough Council results. No overall party majority. You can see previously held by Labour for the last 4. council elections. So that again is a pretty big loss for them. Let's see some detailed results. Well, that's good. These are the latest. Greens have got over 504 now. So they've gone over 500. That's really good. Looks as though Labour are going to get into 4 figures of losses. A Reform are heading towards 1,500. Bloody hell. Fucking hell, man. Right, yeah, new one. Was pretty close though, look at that, 26 to 24 against Newham Independents, who were the main challengers. The Greens gaining 14 seats, which is pretty good considering they only had 2. And they were the only 3 standing, which is quite odd, just 3 candidates. No overall control. Not certain. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's out of 66 seats. Not certain how many they'd need for an overall majority in that particular council. But it was a close-run thing. Yeah. However, fortunately, no one for the Greens. They were quality picks. I know you have to take pinch with a you have to take polls with a pinch of salt, even. I'll be phoning up this MRP in the morning, first thing. It's a load of fucking bollocks this is, mate. I mean, what the fuck did you do? Just ask fucking 7 people in the car park of a Toby Carvery or something? It was 17 people, actually. What's next? What is next? Camden. Camden. So getting into London territory now, getting into analysis of the capital. We'll have to look this one up again. See how things went down in Camden. Well, actually, there were Newham. There was a Newham mayoral election as well, I think. I'll just quickly have a look at that whilst we were on the topic. Labour have held it. Boring. Camden then. Labour held it. Sorry people. Labour held it. There are other quality results to come, don't worry. Let's see some more detailed results for Camden. I'll bring that up on screen. Anyone from Camden? We do have Londoners. We watch live streams and watch vids and stuff. Still a 10-seat gain for the Greens. Not bad. Labour ditched 17 in this case. Tories stayed level on 3. Just 1 new independent or others. But not quite the drubbing that we saw in other areas. Don't worry, we'll get the satisfaction of witnessing those in just a few moments. But the final one to watch on the hot list was Hackney. Let's finish with a bang. This was the projection, or poll, whichever it was. Projection, in fact. Yes, the Greens expected to get 40% of the vote share. Let's see what went down. Don't think we have to look this one up. Pretty certain that we've got this. It's a projection again. I was sure we had Hackney. Oh no, I'm getting mixed up with at least one of the London seats. Apologies, Londoners. Let's look this one up then. But I think it's a good one. Yes, it is. It's a very good one. A Green gain from Labour. Again, I could say that all day. Would you watch a stream of me just saying Greens gain from Labour over and over again? I might use a variety of voices just for variance. Or perhaps if you'd like the easy sleep version, you can let me know in chat. Green gain from Labour. Green gain from Labour. Whatever. That's great. That's incredible. Again, Labour have held that for a very long time. At least the last 4 or forevermore council elections. Well done, Hackney. This is the latest of, well, I'll go over overall results. Again, well done. More of that, please. And there was more of that. Thank you very much. So yeah, we only hit 2 of the hot seats, unfortunately. Like I said, they're not just easy peasy picks. Maybe next time. Oh yes, we're also going to be seeing how these results would translate into general election results later on. I say later on, but sorry, I'm just doing a bit of housekeeping on the broadcast software. Should keep it running smoothly. It's working so far. It will crash now that I've said that, of course. Right, yes. Neat and tidy. Don't forget HOLYROOD and SENEDD coming up also. Yeah, I guess we'll get this one out of the way. You might as well remember, although it didn't become an official hot seat, we noticed something quite interesting in Tower Hamlets, because it looked as though there was going to be, well, not a runaway win, but having previously won the seat, a very strong hold for a party who go by the name of Aspire?
A what?
What?
Okay. Who's that guy?
Who? What are you, a fucking owl?
Yes, it was Aspire. That was the estimate that they would again, as I said, firmly hold Tower Hamlets. It's mostly made up of former breakaway neo-lib Labour trash. Yeah, so let's see what went down. I'll have to throw this one in. This is the results. They held it. Sorry, this is for the mayoral as well. Again, sorry to shout it at you there with the full screen. There we go. Quite a big vote share as well, 38.8 for Lefty Rahman. Labour in second, Greens in third. Bit of a battle between Labour and the Greens for second. In Tower Hamlets. Just go over to the search thing, because I'm pretty certain there were council elections as well. Just need to double check that chat's up to speed as well. So many things. Is Tower Hamlets the area without cars? Not entirely, but there are pedestrianised areas. I'm not a Londoner myself, but I do know London through travelling down there quite frequently, of course. But where were we? Oh yes, the Borough Council results. Let's see. I mean, I don't know why this Aspire party are exclusive to Tower Hamlets, I have to say, have to admit. There is a council results as well. That is still not in, actually. You can see here, still awaiting the result of that one. It's one of the few remaining results yet to come in. Of course, my left eye will keep you up to speed with that one. So let's just amplify smug mode now. Just get rid of Tower Hamlets. Right. Let's just continue the pile on where Labour's concerned. This one will cheer you up, people. If you didn't see this, catch this little snippet. I think it's Sol Staniforth who I owe the plaudits to for this little clip. He's great at picking out bits from mainstream media and stuff. Go and follow Sol Staniforth on your social media. But this is about Richard Dorchevsky, who basically tried to do a bit of political chicanery, what's known as a chicken run, if you're not familiar with the term. He changed where he was sitting in order to try and avoid defeat. That is, however, on this occasion it somewhat backfired, and the new seat that he went to has been lost to the Greens. And I believe, and the great irony of ironies, the one he moved away from actually narrowly managed to hold on. Yeah. Talk about careerism. This is careerism. Succinct. Defined. So this is a little bit from Sky News about that. What an absolute... well, he's a chicken. There's no two ways about it. Complete coward. But no. now he's unemployed.
Yeah, we've had the first big shock result from here in Camden. The leader, or who was the leader of Camden Council, the Labour leader, has failed to win a seat. Richard Olszewski had actually swapped seats. He'd done what critics and even some in his own party called a chicken run by abandoning his seat in Fortune Green in sort of the West Hampstead area, the kind of north of the patch. And he'd come down to stand in Holborn and Covent Garden because that was seen as a safer bet. Now, he hasn't lost to the Lib Dems, but he has lost to the Greens. The Greens have taken all 3 seats in that ward.
All 3. Yeah, in Camden, of course. Good stuff. Some massive, massive record gains for the Greens in London, of course. Not 1 but 2 mayoral successes, which we'll be looking at shortly as well.
And it means that now former leader of Camden Council hasn't got a seat. So there's a sort of cruel irony here that he had justified leaving Fortune Green, his old seat, by saying that he didn't have time to...
Can you... I mean, I don't know if there was a public statement on this or if it, you know, tried to do it with stealth, on the quiet, softly. And so I'm going to go and stand in Camden now because basically none of you shitting bastards are going to vote for me because I'm doing a terrible job, and so is Keith and the rest of Labour. And I'm sure that I'll be welcomed with open arms and they won't detect or suspect that this is just, again, a career move. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure to serve as your counsellor, but it hasn't, and I'm a complete coward. Goodbye. It probably went something like that. You know, hey, here I am. Sorry to, just quickly move over here, but, you know, back at the old place, looked like I was about to get thrown out because I wasn't doing a particularly good job, but, yeah, it's great to be here. Where's my office? Yeah, when do we go for dinner, by the way? Unbelievable. So he got what was coming to him. I think that's fantastic. That's a fantastic story amongst all of these.
Fight him on.
There are a lot more examples. We're going to see a few more of people who got what was coming to them. And a lot of them, of course, were ones that were sort of maybe Starmerites who attacked what was the left of the Labour Party before. The mass exodus, of course. Yeah. We're now in the coming around phase of the what goes around comes around. And my goodness, it certainly is coming around for Keith. Ha ha! What a prick.
Marginal battle with the Liberal Democrats because they had been increasing their presence around there. He said he didn't have time to fight that electoral battle whilst at the same time running the council and overseeing the council. So he went to an area that everyone said Labour would definitely hold. I was talking to someone that was out on the doorsteps there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, it's safe as houses, mate. Safe as houses. You could put your fucking mortgage on. Yeah. Oh yeah, they've held it since 19diddly-2 or whatever. Been around forever. And they won all 3. The Greens won all 3 of the ones that were up for grabs.
Over this campaign, and they said they hadn't seen much of a Green presence actually around Holborn and Covent Garden, the more central southern end of his constituency. But he has lost. The Greens have taken all 3 of those seats, and he is out and will...
Let's be honest, a lot of this isn't from canvassing, doorstepping, so on and so forth, door knocking. It's, yeah, it's by reputation. It's the reputation of the Labour Party, their macro position on global affairs, obviously, Gaza and whatnot, but on a myriad of domestic issues as well. The continuation of austerity, of course, being the most prevalent factor. So many elements within that, of course, budgets and whatnot included, etc. So it is not a case of presence or lack of presence in the area. That has obviously an effect on the results, but there are many ways to appeal to voters. Increasingly, people get their political influence from online sources and social media sources and whatnot more than ever before. And whilst canvassing does have an effect, and again, well done to all those green canvassers in Camden, here in Manchester, all across the country. But I just think that this report is perhaps a little behind with the range of methods that are available. Shouldn't be so shocked, you know, considering that Labour were guaranteed to make losses pretty much piecemeal across the board. What a story, though. What a story. It's not just that example that sums things up. Bit of music, I think. And a sip of tea. Right, this next one. Yes, quite a bit of satisfaction from this, because certainly anybody who's seen the Labour Files documentary, which was an Al Jazeera documentary that came out, was it last year or towards the end of 24? Might certainly remember this pernicious, awful Zionist, who was, of course, on camera gloating about undermining Jeremy Corbyn, undermining the Labour Party during Jeremy Corbyn's tenure, and took part in the phony Panorama anti-Semitism documentary, which was, of course, a complete and utter hack piece. However, Ella Rose, who you can see on the right here of the picture with the red rosette, the other guy on the left, just happens to be a convicted nonce, was one of Labour's casualties. Finally. Yes. Of course, the fact that she undermined Corbyn tells you that she's been around since the mid-2010s, and has been a complete, vicious neoliberal careerist, pro-Israel Zionist the whole entire time. It is very satisfying to learn that she's fallen in what will go down in history as the great election battle loss of 2026. Yeah, don't let the door hit you on the way out, Ella. Very good riddance. Yeah, most satisfying indeed, I do have to say. As well as this one, because just yesterday highlighted this particular attempt at a hit piece. Do you remember? Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. We spoke about all these hit pieces going around. This is Carlotta Allam, who was subject to, it was one of the right-wing trash, you know, they all begin with T, most of them, don't they? The Times, the Telegraph, whichever one it was, or Daily Fail. Yeah, it didn't work out, so there's Carlotta celebrating the victory there on the right, I'm not certain, but well done, well done. And as I said, yeah, 2 London mayors were gained by the Green Party. Here's the first. This was the first one announced, that is. Zoe Garbett, who made a speech. I've got a short segment from that. And they also had a victory in Lewisham as well. So this is Zoe's speech from Hackney, Green Party's first ever mayor. When I say first ever, of course there are at least two. But, well, the way things are going and all that sort of thing.
If these trends continue, hey!
And just as Hackney should belong to Hackney residents, this administration is yours. Because the people of Hackney own Hackney, and it's time to take it back.
Yeah, like, I don't know, you might even say people want to take back power.
That's why one of my first acts will be to do a full investigation into who owns Hackney, its buildings, its land, to begin getting these spaces back to the community.
Yes, that's it. Fucking 9 o'clock, day one. Fucking capital letters on the list. Root out all the slags.
Who desperately need them. Our plan is about getting the best basics right and making day-to-day easier, getting repairs done quickly, making food and energy cheaper, and rooting out racism in our schools. I'll fight the system.
I'd just like to add a citation to what I just said there in case anybody doesn't get it. I'm not talking about sex workers or anything like that. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about dirty business. She said, who owns Hackney? And yeah, companies make these bids. They speak of creating employment in the country, expect tax breaks, so on and so forth. These, you know, the sharks, the big fish that are out there really are abhorrent because the amount of corruption, tax loopholes, so on and so forth doesn't benefit communities. It only benefits the owners of those countries. Rather than, as they claim, actually doing good by, air quotes, creating jobs. They are leeches. That is why they go to communities to make money. They don't think you don't think that they look on a map and go, "Oh, let's go and help this place. Let's go." No, labour exploitation by suppression of wages and tax evasion. That's what's going on, and that's what, needs to be stamped out. That's what I mean by 9 AM, day one, root out the slags, and all of that.
That views housing as a way of making money rather than a universal right for every single person. I'll get more council houses from development. The people need somewhere affordable to stay. And I won't be silent about the government decisions that are harming Hackney residents, like continued austerity. It is both heart-wrenching and outrageous that something like 1 in 2 children in Hackney live in poverty. Every day
Half of the kids in Hackney in poverty. 50%. There are 4 million kids in poverty in the country in total as well. And that's about a third. About 1 in 3 families at the moment. 6th richest country in the world.
will work to fix this. Poverty isn't a fact, it's a political choice, and Hackney says no.
I love how she says poverty and not cost of living crisis. Extra bonus points to Zoe Garbutt for that.
And I will...
Yes.
We will fix this by building a people-powered democracy. I need Hackney residents to hold me to account and to help me fight back against this broken system. I can't bring hope to Hackney on my own. We need to make hope together.
Go, Hackney, go. Well done. Mayor Zoe Garbutt there. And I'm just going to leave this up on screen for a few moments whilst I ask you in chat, people. Bearing in mind what regular viewers will have seen recently when I showed a certain hack journalist, Julia Hartley-Brewer, struggling to make a point and rooting through her notes when talking to Ashok Kumar on issues of pro-Palestinian protests, for example, and the Green Party. So can you guess what her response to this victory for the Green Party and Zoe Garbett in Hackney was? I'll just leave it up for a few moments there before we go on to Lewisham, where there was another excellent mayoral result for the Greens. And I don't mean the exact jibe. She said something critical about Zoe Garbett, and can you guess what it might have been? In the meantime, I'll remind you also, please hit relevant buttons on the channel. Thumbs up. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed. You can join others in chat. Just 60 seconds afterwards. Okay, for the sake of brevity, I'll reveal what there were no guesses in chat, but I'll reveal what Julia Hartley-Brewer's biggest critique of the Green Party of Zoe Garbett was. It was along the lines of, I can't believe that residents of Hackney have elected someone with a pink fringe like that. Yeah, very grotesque comments, completely lacking in his self-awareness as well, because she posted that on Twitter, where her very avatar picture itself has her in a shocking pink suit. Oh god, what pink is it? Oh god. Ridiculous. I mean, it staggers me that people like Julia Hartley-Brewer get to the positions that they do, but there you go. Sour grapes though, isn't it? Sorry, Julia. But that is a victory for the Greens. It was the same in Lewisham. Let's take a look at the results. Very, very, very strong results. Again, 40.4. That's a gain of 24.5 for the Greens. Completely dominant over Labour, who dropped 23.2 percentage points. Quite incredible. That's a marvellous sweeping victory. That really is good. We've seen some great results, haven't we, for the Greens? That's right up there. Not quite the levels of Manchester, you know, keep up with proper, like, fucking 50% here. So well done to Liam Shriver-Starber. Taking a bit of a selfie there. Look at all those campaigners as well. You're not just talking about 6 or 7 people strategically positioned, holding 2 or 3 placards each to make it look like the numbers are a lot bigger. Dozens of supporters celebrating there. Well done, Liam. Excellent. More of that, please.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Stunning victories. And another worthy of note, across in the east. Just an interesting example before I go through a couple of vids. At Norwich council results is now completely in the hands of the Green Party, with a majority of 3. Yeah, close call, but they got there, gaining 5 seats with Labour dropping 7 Lib Dem staying even, Reform gaining but 2, Tories and others also level. So again, congratulations, well done to the Greens. That was a kind of unexpected one, I have to be honest. But pleased to know that there's a lot of support for Norwich over there. Aaron Gray, nice to see in chat. Solidarity, brother. And yet the celebrations for the Greens continued through the day. This is Rachel Millwood, who we saw yesterday. Actually, she was the only decent one on the panel whilst we were checking out the Beeb live feed. Here she is again, explaining why she thinks that the Greens have done so well in this round of English council elections.
Massively increased our vote share pretty much everywhere we stood. We've broken through, like, fantastic to win the Mayor of Hackney with such a majority. I mean, to be breaking through in London for us, and we had only 18 councillors there before, there's 1% of vote share. So it's a massive breakthrough. And we know that, you know, London has been traditionally and increasingly very much a Labour stronghold. So that's a hugely significant change.
Yeah, that's one of the most satisfying parts of this, is that the Greens are taking seats from Labour. That means that people are realising where progression really is in the ballot box. It's not in the phony, robotic neoliberalism, delivering the plan for change over and over again. In fact, I have observed the fact that in every single area where cabinet members went to campaign, as I predicted, the votes absolutely tanked, because it's bad enough seeing them on the television, right? But there's so much universal hate for Labour at the moment, and I'm not overusing the word hate, which is a strong word. Yes, no, people literally hate Labour for what they've done, not just the lies that they told to get into office in the first place, but recent things that they've done with various socio-political issues, but also, where I'm concerned, in a slightly biased fashion, protest law, things like this, the suppression of the right to protest. And they show up at your door, like Reeves, Lammy, whomever, Liz Kendall, show up at your door and try and pitch to you what's happening, because we've seen some of them. Streeting's been quiet, hasn't he? We haven't heard much from Wes. He's off hiding somewhere, probably still trying to find pictures of him and Peter on old hard drives and trying to come up with ways that they might accidentally go missing. Anyway, that's another Where's Wesley? Where is he? Been very quiet. Has he been on the doorsteps? But you're even less likely to vote for them if they actually show up in person. I would be like, you know, you have 30 seconds to get the fuck off my doorstep, or yeah, you're gonna have a bad afternoon. The other day, came back and there were a couple of reform leaflets, flyers that have been put through the letterbox. Yeah, a pair of them. Like, I'm going to give them out to friends. Nope. Either get defaced, shredded and put in the recycling, or you can now send it back to them and it will cost them £2.50. It's a free post address if you'd like to return it. You might make a small financial loss in envelopes, of course, but might be considering doing if you have the time.
Manchester's very exciting news. We've just got 17 councillors elected there. That's over our expectations.
Yes, Manchester.
So we're kind of more than holding well. I think we're up and up. And what's what we're seeing is, I think it's beyond a problem of just Keir Starmer, is the fact that people are running so hard and barely able to stand still. The fact that the inequality in our economy is just devastating. We're the 5th wealthiest country in the world, but 1 in 3 of our children are living in poverty. That's absolutely real daily.
Slight correction, it is actually the 6th. Of course, I've mentioned it a couple of times on stream already, I think myself. We were 5th. Well, I think it was not long after we left the European Union. I'm sure it might not be a coincidence. But we were surpassed by India, which, of course, used to be part of the British Empire, didn't it? The so-called jewel in the crown. Yeah, irony of ironies, and now has surpassed us in terms of gross domestic product.
Reality for people who are struggling, and this Labour government is just not responding to that with enough systemic change. Most things are completely privatised, from our water to our care systems to our highways. This means that there's a few people and corporates making profit out of public services rather than the scale of investment in public services that we would need to make the change that would affect everyone's daily lives.
Reach. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. She did bring up Starmer. I think he's got a lot to do with it, certainly. That is why people are calling for him to step down, and we're going to see an example of that in the next clip. Most of Labour's problems are of his own devising, and as well as the smears, the direct smears against Zach Polanski, which were very offensive and grotesque, including those horrible anti-Semitic cartoons. Yeah. As much for... Or I forgot what I was going to say. Apart from all of that, yeah, one of the criticisms that was coming from the mainstream media didn't hold. It just doesn't wash. Sorry, I kind of lost my point with that one. Oh yes, that was it. They tried to say, oh well, it's local elections and you've just got to vote with local issues in mind, as if that would be any sort of deflection away from what the Labour Party's done on a national level, or that people could forget or forgive that the Labour candidate represents a party, that is complicit in a genocide, for example. So really desperately trying to, just think about potholes and bins was very reaching. Sorry it took me a while to get to that point. It is quite late in the week and in the evening. But I got there eventually. So Louise Hay is one of those who's called for Starmer to step down. The word timetable has been thrown around a lot in the last 24 hours as well, the sort of timetable for departure. Not sort of expecting him to go in front of the cameras tomorrow and resign at a lectern in front of the door of number 10, but setting out a schedule for when he might, or when they might have another leadership election or whatever. She's not alone. There are at least 10, 12 others that I saw just before we came on stream, including Richard Bergen, for example. But not quite the 172 or whatever it is yet, as I said, required to trigger a vote of no confidence. Now, Louise Hay, in this clip that you're about to see, does initially try to defend Starmer, but I'm just going to add some comments as we go. I guess she tries to do the sort of good cop, bad cop thing or whatever. It's just, oh, he you know, you can't blame Starmer. He has had his problems. I mean, look at everything he's got to deal with, but he should quit, is what she gets to, eventually. Trying to sugarcoat it a little, I guess.
Well, these are absolutely devastating results. They're a hammer blow here in Sheffield, in our heartlands, across the country, and we've lost brilliant, dedicated councillors who get up every day and put their community first. I would say, having spoken to thousands of people during this election period, the cost of living crisis was
poverty. It's called poverty.
Front and foremost in people's minds. But we've got to be honest, the Prime Minister and national issues came up on nearly every doorstep as well.
There's been I suppose it's a message to the Prime Minister here, but what's your message to the Prime Minister?
Well, look, we're in the middle of a war, and...
Whoa. That's impossible, Louise, that's impossible. Because I'm rather certain that we've spent the last several weeks, a couple of months, hearing that we're not involved with this war. Obviously, there have been economic repercussions, Strait of Hormuz, etc. But we are at war. I'm pretty sure Keith and a lot of other Labour spokes have been very direct and clear about that. So, is it just that now we're involved because it suits as an excuse for these catastrophic losses in the local elections, as well as the Welsh and Holyrood elections, of course. But yeah, all of a sudden we're involved. Yes, councillors do get paid.
Serious global instability, and the Prime Minister is doing an absolutely exceptional job on the international stage, and it's incredibly important that he's...
An exceptional job on the international stage. Well, all I can picture is, you know, the one of him picking up the papers that Trump dropped. Let me get those documents for you, master. Yeah, there's your international relations. And all of the mainstream press poring over, you know, the King's state visit to America, and as though this is going to change a jot. It's okay, kids. Look, the bills miraculously got smaller. We can miraculously afford more food. The climate crisis is miraculously over. We're not in late-stage capitalism any longer because the so-called Divine One hath visited ye pumpkin-spiced Palpatine. Sing and rejoice, children of mine. We'll remember this day. And then we've also heard from Labour MPs and councillors in the aftermath of this, which really does show you the state of the Labour Party as well. We've heard that they think that the King's speech coming up might turn things around. Yeah. Pure delusion, if ever it was. There's more from Louise, though. Let's listen on.
Successful in that role because our constituents' livelihoods depend upon it. But the message has been clear from the public that unless the government delivers significant and urgent change, it's clear that the...
Say change, don't say deliver. Especially don't say deliver. Got a freaking complex here. Ding ding, postman twats. He's not real. Can't hurt you. Not in your dreams. Every nightmares. No.
Prime Minister cannot lead us into another election.
Is that how you feel now? Do you think he should stay or should he leave now?
No, absolutely. We cannot descend into an irresponsible, messy internal contest.
Oh, God. Fucking wake up and smell the coffee. Get with the elephant in the room, which is painted in neon bright colours and also has a flashing sign on it that says he should quit now. Like, you've got to hit the fucking emergency button. I'm no fan of Labour, but just in terms of tactics, this is like still trying to drive a car with 4 flat tyres. They're driving on rims. They are fucking driving on rims and on fumes. And they still think that they should keep going. And that would be if there was a garage every fucking 50 yards. They would just still keep going. The vehicle is broken. It is done. You need to fucking get a new vehicle, which most people have already done with the Green Party. But the driver as well, of course, because he's the one who got you into this in the first place. It all started in 2015. This is what it's all been about since he got in. He's got what he wanted. And just the pure hubris now. They briefly had the told you so's based on a loveless landslide that, or what, you could trick people into winning an election rather than winning an election off the back of decent socialist policies that would benefit most people in society as opposed to the top 1%. Got what they wanted. What goes around comes around, like I said. We're in the very deep stages of the coming around now. So they really, if they have any political nous whatsoever, will get rid of the very poison and the very toxin that is Keir Starmer, because his very presence now, and especially after what happened with Scandalson, there's just so much association there as well. The phone thing is coming back around. Apparently McSweeney's phone has now been recovered. Someone tried to sell it, and probably the secrets therein. And there was some sort of police sting operation. They've got the culprit, but the point is they've also got the phone as well. So he doesn't have that to look forward to. This Ukrainian lad's trial thing won't go away. Don't forget, he prorogued Parliament because of that as well. He knew that he could dodge PMQs with the local elections coming up. Just the day after it would be scheduled, they don't have it, so he just had to prorogue it for a shorter time, but he did. Scandalson. This, don't get me started on Iran. Gotta go. Gotta go.
The Prime Minister is doing...
He's trying. We don't. It's results. It's results, and people now are aware of the fact that they were duped. That it was all lies. We're way past the the Wizard of Oz. Don't look at the man behind the curtain analogy. You could glue that fucking curtain shut again, but people have, well, the 4 of them there, I think, including Dorothy, saw what they saw, and you can't expect them to unsee that. He will go. He will go. It's when, not if. We're very well into the phase of that as well. That's Louise Hay. Just bring up a bit of music. Here's another reason, if these results haven't been enough. Because you certainly can't blame the councillors. Like we heard in that last clip, as I mentioned yesterday. I'm certain that a lot of them are very dedicated local councillors. I know and have known a lot of local councillors in my time. That might not be a complete surprise, given my interest in politics, but look at this. This is how this would translate into a general election results. And the onus is on Starmer, not on those councillors. There's, well, like with the results today, looking at what, 1,500 seats roughly at the moment, and this with a 26% vote share, you can't ignore the successes of reform, but this is what we have to fight. And of course, just going back to mediums for that, political vehicles, it is now abundantly clear that only the Green Party really do have the capability of stopping reform. In terms of the trajectory, in terms of how quickly votes are increasing for the Greens, 230,000 members now as well. Second in this poll. Very, very safe to say that the legacy established parties have now had the time. This isn't temporary. I get the feeling that this is basically the 21st century politics happening right in front of our very eyes. Not just because that is the time that it's happening, but there's no way back. There's no way back. I mean, look at the numbers. So people have to, abandon any hope that they have for Labour, for the Tories, because it's only the Greens that can stop reform right now. That's a rough estimate, of course. At whatever point Starmer does go, that doesn't necessarily mean it'll automatically trigger a general election. Just look at how, Rishi Sunak, for example, managed to drag it out. Liz Truss only managed, 40 days, but Sunak managed to drag it out. Never stood in an election as Prime Minister. Flo Stank, nice to see you. Yeah, just back to that Ukrainian lad's court case. Huge media smokescreen. Not a whiff of it. Not a whiff of it. But they did originally mention, the arson attacks, which is what they're appearing in court for. Peasants' Revolt, the Jim Crow, gerrymandering, the Jim Crow segregation legislation. Of course, there were huge protests against that. Well-known figures, of course, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X and the type, but you're talking back in the day, even earlier than that, people like the Freedom Riders, if you want to look up those cases. Most people are familiar with Rosa Parks as well, of course. But back onto topic. In terms of future UK politics, we'll need a little bit of hindsight, of course, before I can say that that's the way it was, but I believe that we are heading into a new frontier where sort of party political selection is concerned in the general public. But of course, other things to discuss. That will be all for the English council elections. But we do have a result here for the Senedd, and it's a good one as far as Plaid Cymru are concerned. Not quite hitting the number of seats that they were projected to get, but still doing a very good job in keeping Reform at bay, gaining 21 seats, with Labour tanking 35, leaving them with just 9. Tories also suffering massive losses, 23 down. The Greens coming out with 2, and Lib Dem with 1. So well done, well done. That still does mean, though, no overall majority for Plaid Cymru, but still a good indicator in terms of Welsh independence. But this is a classic example of polarised opinions and policies between the two parties that have had the most success but no overall control. But obviously with a slight, not official majority, but numerical one in just 9 seats higher. It could be decisive. Depends on the issue, depends on the matter. It would be far too presumptuous, even, of me to think about which individual issues that might affect. So, well done. We do have Welsh viewers, of course, here on My Left Eye. I'd be delighted to hear how you think things have gone. Oh, wow, what a day it's been. Sorry, I'm quite tired. Plowing through. There were still some results to come in from Scotland as I came on stream, so I'll go and just fetch the very latest updates. However, things look all well and good for the SNP, that is. Still, let's see. Oh, just very quickly before we do go to the north. Yeah, the head of Welsh Labour lost the seat as well, didn't they? During all of that, the 35 seats that they left. Just wanted to wedge in that tidbit of information in case anybody didn't have it. Let's hope to see a similar result in England, in Holborn and St Pancras. If he lasts that long, that is. Well, you're going to have to put up or shut up. Okay. There's actually a live feed. A live feed page for HOLYROOD, so let's go there. Excuse me. Just, that'll do. Get the latest. Looks to be a historic 5th victory for the Scottish National Party. Up Scotland. It says here, it's not clear which party will come second, still waiting for the final results to be declared in Highlands and Islands regional list. Labour currently has 17 seats, followed by Reform on 15 and the Scottish Greens on 13. Scottish Green co-leader Ross Greer says his party has done better than expected And SNP leader John Swinney says he hopes to enjoy more cooperative relationship with the UK government when he returns to Holyrood, explaining that the last few months have been all about the politics of the election. Okay, 1 minute it says we have to wait. I timed that pretty well, didn't I? Not bad. Let's just go over some of the other confirmed results. There must be some more detailed. Central and Lothian West. This is the regional list. The 7th of 8 was declared. When was this? Oh, that was a couple of hours or so ago. Well, it says 1 minute, so let's just hang on. We'll have a full. Oh, sorry, it's right. Sorry. Tired. I thought it meant that the next post would be in a minute, but it's a video that's a minute long. So we'll just go over. Ah, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. 57 seats for the SNP, just 13 for Labour. Again, wipeout. Reform got 10, Scottish Green got 10, Conservatives 9, Lib Dem 9, still 21 results to come in, though that was posted a couple of hours ago. But aside from Central and West Lothian, there's not much more detail, but that's a swing anyway. That's the change again. Reform making the most gains there, but surprisingly, Lib Dem actually gaining more than the Greens. That's based on the 2021 national results. That might look, obviously you see that, oh god, 15.8%. You had to, of course, consider how well the SNP were already doing in Scotland. So still, for the majority, rejected. Well done, Scotland. I'll fill you in with the details of those other seats on the Sunday live stream. Just looking at a couple of other headlines. I'm not going to go into the articles, but one here, third story down, many Labour MPs are blaming the boss, that's Starmer, for elections body blow. And Zach Polanski says that the two-party political system is now dead after massive gains for the Greens. Appear to just be 7 seats remaining to be counted, that is, in Scotland. SNP are still on 57. Unfortunately, it means that they couldn't reach a majority even if they get all of the 7 remaining seats. They'd be just 1 away on 64. You need 65 for a majority. Oof. That's... Oh, doesn't get closer, does it? Doesn't get closer. Scottish Green SNP coalition, anyone? Yes, fucking please. We might know come morning, so I'll go into that on Sunday, like I said. Right, sorry if that was a bit rushed. Didn't have time to cram in many inserts or jokes as I went through some of those final results there, but I did have to plough through. Live chat out again. Right, there we are. Yeah, so that is it for the local elections 2026 special. Stick around, people. Going to be streaming elsewhere. I do have the member scroll as well, which is, of course, because it is a Hot Seats episode, in the style of the theme tune with Squeezebox Dave and Joey coming at you live. Or should be. It's the wrong one, Phil. That's the wrong one. There we go. Oh shit, it had frozen. Sorry, I didn't notice. I was trying to sort out the raid. Yeah, sorry for the buffering, or if it froze. Viewers, thanks for sticking around though. They've been great elections. Let's keep up the pace. There is a thirst for progression in the country. I'll be back on Sunday with the Sunday live stream. Of course, do check out our most recent video, please. As I said, give some hype points as well, if you can on that. It'd be massively helpful. That's the full version of Take Back Power in London. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Been great to see you. Yeah, but that's just about it. Power to the people, free Palestine, Sudan, Yemen and Lebanon. Don't watch the news, be the news. Don't let the bastards grind you down. And Man Left Eye, we'll be seeing you soon. The poll is going to end at the end of the stream as well. There you go. Alright, good night everybody. Solidarity.
Right, off you go.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's easy!
The door is open and you can leave.
It's what Hitler and Goering did, and it is textbook. And if you think the next time it happens, we're gonna recognize it because they're wearing scary uniforms, you're out of your damn mind.